From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. And they are not what they claim to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One diaphragm for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We don't take days off because their reptilians don't be taking days off.
Fucking
How you doing, Ollie?
I'm good.
Good.
Got fucking really rock solid nipples today.
Awesome. Good. That's good to hear. I'm glad. Why? Is it cold? I hope it's cold.
I mean, it's not cold. No, I've just got this. I've just got this feeling, you know. You never just get aroused? Just for no reason?
Not doing the show, oddly enough, no. Oh, there was that one time.
Yeah, I can't get... Yeah, you got a hot tub. I can't get in hot tubs. It's getting out of a hot tub I just can't do.
What do you mean? It's like getting out of a big bath.
Yeah, but you've got your own private hot tub.
I do.
Because Lee's a fucking multi-millionaire.
I am not. Do you know what? It's disgusting how cheap my hot tub was. Somebody got robbed.
You stole a hot tub out of somebody's garden.
No. I bought it, but it was steal of the century. Now, unfortunately, British energy prices are going. Oh, you got your nice cheap hot tub. Well, excuse me if we don't fuck you in the butthole for a little bit.
I reckon somebody's wife probably got shagged one too many times in that hot tub.
Hot tub sex is no good, Ollie. The only person that thinks anyone's having sex in hot tubs is somebody without a hot tub.
Well, that's the reason why I have to stay clear of hot tubs. It's because
you sound like Mike Tyson hot tubs.
Well, I went into a hot tub and
you got shagged.
No, I was there with my friends, all male, right? You know, just like a little bit of a retreat. The women were cooking in the kitchen like they do, washing up and that, and us boys, we went and got into the hot tub, had a few beers.
Feels like the roles were reversed there, Ollie.
Right? What do you mean?
It feels like the girls should have been in the hot tub, like doing girl stuff, and the guys should have just been hanging out somewhere.
Oh no, because we'd been to the beach and walking all day on our feet, you know, so we were tired.
What, did you have heels on?
No, flip-flops. So anyway, I get in the hot tub with a bunch of dudes, and
with the boys.
I haven't got a gay bone in my body, and
Did you have one in the end?
I think so, Lee. I don't know what happened. I couldn't get out. I couldn't get out of the hot tub because I'm like, I don't know how to tell these guys that I've got an erection. you know, how do you do that?
No, you know what? No one knows. No one really knows, apart from I'm sure a gay man knows. But like most heterosexual men, like wouldn't know what to do in that situation. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it wouldn't happen, Ollie.
It happens when I get in the bath on my own, you know.
That's fine. That's fine.
No, but I'm not aroused by the bath.
No, you absolutely. Well, no, but whatever you're thinking of is clearly arousing you.
No, I don't. It's empty.
You can't get hard. No, you can't get hard on without being aroused. That's absolutely bullshit, Ollie. If you got a hard on amongst a bunch of lads in a hot tub,
I'm gay.
You got a hard on because you're in a hot tub with a bunch of lads. These two things are not connected.
My dad was right. Fuck. Oh well, I'm happily married. I can forget about that moment.
I'd say you just take all those natural feelings that you've got and you squish them down, Ollie. You squish them down so you don't think about them anymore.
I hope my wife don't listen to this actually, because I've never told that story. True story. Still don't know why it happened.
No, I've no idea why you told me this.
Me neither. I thought it'd be funny, but sometimes jokes that have got truth in them,
they're not funny.
Lead your co-host to frowning upon you and probably not wanting to share a bed with you again.
Well, I mean, we did share a bed together, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I didn't get hard on then, if it's in isolation.
To be fair, though, there was a third man in a single bed on his own, and there was a gun in the room should you have tried anything.
Right.
So I felt pretty safe in those situations.
Yeah, also I was pretty drunk, and you know how that works. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't seem to bother you in a hot tub full of lads.
That is true.
Right, the agenda this evening, Ollie. Our friend.
Let's man this show up now. Come on.
Let's get it somewhere. Let's just take it away from debauchery. Our friend Rich from the Great British Strike, now formerly the Great British Strike, now the Great British Protest, has made an announcement this evening about 5 o'clock UK time. I haven't watched it yet, Ollie. I don't believe you have either.
I haven't had time, but we've both
too many men. Too many men, yeah. Just too many men in the world.
We both agreed on the way home. Let's do what those YouTubers do, and let's have it au naturel.
Do you think you can watch like 6.5 minutes, 7 minutes of Rich without getting a hard on? Is that okay? Because he's looking pretty sharp there. His hair's looking good.
He's looking pretty good. Why do you think I've moved my camera up?
Right.
You know.
Right. So let's listen to what Rich has got to say about the announcement of Phase 2 of the Great British Protest.
Sickens me. It sickens me, Lee, because it's
that noise you just made with your throat sickens me.
What noise?
You just did one of those like throat burps right down the microphone.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Fucking hell! Not only am I getting an erection, I'm gobbling here. Man! Should we restart this show?
No, absolutely fucking not. After that story, you're living with this.
Have you seen that kitchen? It's fucking beautiful. It's so
spotless,
tiny.
isn't it? Yeah, it's
show
spotless.
My missus this and go, listen, look at that,
and she'll say, "Do it." Do it, or I tell everyone what happened when I walked out and looked at that hot tub.
I'm gonna have me and Rich. We need to go around there and crack that bottle of whiskey open, Lee. You don't like whiskey though, do you?
I don't really drink spirits, mate. No. Having duff kidneys all my life and stuff like that. I've just always chosen to stay away from spirits. It's just like. It's one of those things. So now, because I've never really got into drinking spirits, everything just kind of tastes like paint stripper. Right, I'm going to hit play on this, and we'll see what Rich has to say.
Here we are again. We have had so much to think about with regards to Phase 2. We've learned so much from our past mistakes and from our successes. Now, phase 1 saw many of you take to your local cities, and we genuinely cannot thank you all enough, but phase 1 was just the beginning. The problem we face going forward is that having everyone spread out makes us look watered down. And whilst we had many cities with good turnouts, some cities had no one turn up at all. Now, a lot of people have commented that they were angry about lack of planning, having no speakers or representatives, and we completely understand that. We share your frustration. The truth is, we did try very hard to make this happen, but for many locations, people simply didn't come forward, and then many people who did turned out to be Antifa trying to infiltrate us. We did want to hire professionals and get them booked in, stages, PA equipment, loudspeakers, TV screens, and so much more, but in the final week before our strike, 489 people had donated. Now, we're so unbelievably thankful to those who did donate and continue to do so. But 489 people, that means only 0.1% of our followers were willing or able to donate £1 or more. This meant that not only did we not have enough money, but we also didn't have volunteers either. Now, we still don't. We don't have enough not to hold protests nationwide. So where do we go from here? We need to concentrate our efforts to get everyone together in one location. Now, many would say, let's go to London, and I would agree. That was my plan. But then I realised that multiple locations simply isn't doable. Not if you want to have a real impact. Not if you want people to see thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of us stood together fighting to take back our country. Now, I've taken professional advice on what does and doesn't work when holding a protest, so here's what we're going to do. Around 1,000 to 1,200 illegal fighting age men are entering the UK every single day through the port of Dover, costing us billions of pounds a year, driving up crime statistics, threatening the safety of our men, women and children, and contributing to the collapse of our country. They're not refugees. You could perhaps argue that they were refugees when they arrived in France, but then they decided to jump on another boat and invade our country for an easy ride and to take advantage of us, to threaten our way of life and then bill us for the pleasure. Labour are allowing this to happen. It's one of their very many flaws. We've decided to focus on two goals going forward. You see, when you go to war, you have to pick your battles. You can't win all of them at once, and so we have decided to concentrate our efforts. They are as follows. Stop the invasion and get Labour out. This is phase 2. On Saturday, the 19th of July at 12 p.m, we will all arrive at Dover Beach, just meters away from where the boats arrive. We will literally be able to look across the water and see them arriving, and you best believe that they will see us too. We will protest against the illegals arriving here daily and this repugnant government that are allowing it to happen. I will say it again. We want to stop the invasion and get Labour out. When you get there, a stage will be set up. We will have guest speakers, performers. We're going to get burger vans and so much more, creating the same party environment that we had in phase 1, whilst getting our message out. At the same time, the farmers will be there with their tractors, loads of them. The bikers have been invited too, and they are now making their plans. At the same time, we will be opting out of card purchases for an entire week and supporting local businesses using cash only. Start drawing your cash out now, because this will run from Monday the 21st of July to Monday the 28th of July. At the same time, starting on the 1st of July, we will also be nominating one major business every week that we will be abstaining from, that we, the people, will refuse to use. For example, on the 1st of July until the 7th of July, we will be completely abstaining from all Tesco stores, including Tesco Express, Tesco Extra, Booker and One Stop. It's time to start putting pressure on the large corporations, the large companies who are making record profits whilst people can barely afford to feed themselves. If we keep doing this, they will have no choice but to bring their prices down when all of their customers are shopping somewhere else. At the same time, we are supporting the relaunch of another petition for a general election. The last one didn't work. Why? Because nothing was leveraged against it. It was just a piece of paper with some signatures on it. This time, we will take action. We will boycott more businesses, hold more protests for longer periods of time. We will grow and get bigger and louder every single time until we see the change that we want. We will not stop when the invasion has stopped and Labour are out. That's when we will stop. To clarify, phase 2 is as follows. We meet in Dover Beach, where the foreign invaders land. There we will hold a protest and have a party whilst doing it. We're supporting the launch of another petition for a general election, this time with actual action leveraged against it. We'll only spend cash for one whole week, from the 21st to the 28th of July. Every week, we refuse to shop from one large business that is price gouging its customers. The first one will be Tesco from Monday the 1st to Monday the 7th of July. The farmers are going to be there. So are the bikers. The bikers who now are taking to social media and putting together a whole new movement where they're going to be patrolling the streets day and night to keep vulnerable people safe. At the same time, we are also launching our very own fully registered charity. It's just been incorporated. It's just gone through Companies House. It's good to go. We are going to be helping the people who need it the most. We won't just hold the government to account. We will be out there rolling up our sleeves and getting to work. Now, I know that many of you will be unhappy that your local city isn't holding a protest. Believe me, I understand. But our country is about to be lost forever. Having lots of people in one location will make far more of an impact than having, few people in lots of locations. I understand that now, and I'm begging all of you to do all that you can to get there. There's loads of parking. Make the journey. Please don't be apathetic. This only works if we all turn up. Car share, give your neighbours a lift if they have no means of getting there. Make your plans and get to Dover on the 19th of July. I will be making the 5-hour drive myself. We will be sending flyers out, spending your money that you have donated to get this advertised to those who are not on social media. We will pick key areas to send these to. If you also wish to print some off at home and distribute them, please get in touch. The more we do now, the more we can change the future. Let's take the time and the effort to show up en masse and create some real change. Please share this far and wide, because in phase 1, 9,000 people shared our posts on Facebook. That was out of 130,000 followers that we had at the time. That's 6.9%. 6.9% of you sharing our posts. Please, if you see our posts, share them. Don't sit back and wait for someone else to do it. We must all pull our weight. This isn't my movement. This is ours. Actions, not words. We are Great Britain. Thank you.
So, you've muted your mic, Ollie. You weren't even speaking. Why would you mute your mic when you're not even speaking?
The door opened. What is the date again? 23rd of July, did he say?
19th.
19th. Close. I was close.
As in, it was the same month.
Don't show up on the 23rd, people. 19th of July. I think I see what he's saying there, because we were dubious about if it had worked with all the cities and that, because it's especially when you. He's made a big noise in the UK, but I think to try and organise that across different areas, it must be fucking difficult. But for one place, and Dover's a pretty good place.
Yeah, see, that's from me being in the Isle of Man. I could never really, I can't judge how much impact it had or how many people were actually there, and out doing it. And if they, even if there was water cooler talk about it, for people at work. So did you notice people talking about it and stuff like that?
I asked people at work if they'd heard of it. A couple had, but that was already kind of a couple that are already sick of the way the country's being run. Right. So,
well, they're your target audience essentially, aren't they? They're the people you're going to go to first. I wish them all the best with it. I really do. I'd like to get down, to be perfectly honest.
We're sharing it now. That's all people, and that's what he's asking people to do, is share it. So, can you imagine if it actually worked and Tesco's were fucking empty?
It only takes, if you can get large volumes of people, it doesn't take many days. If you can get large people, you look at video games, for instance. You and me, both gamers. You look at the way
when we get the time.
When we get the time, but you look at the way that when you get a certain amount of people that just go, right, I'm not buying this game because of X, Y, and Z. Companies shit themselves.
Good example.
Well, there's a really good example as well with Ubisoft right now. Oh yeah, is it Ubisoft? Yeah, Ubisoft. So it is for those that don't know. Thing. Yes. So Ubisoft's social media accounts this year have completely abstained from sharing Pride Month stuff. And in fact, instead on the Rainbow Six Siege page on their X account, instead of that, on the 1st of June, they highlighted the fact that June is Men's Mental Health Month. You know, that's
it's
just
gay
what
with rainbow in the name.
I know, but that's what these things can do. You know, that's what this type of action can get from companies. And you know, it's the top and bottom of it is the best way to make people it's very difficult to threaten these people.
Yeah,
it was very difficult because you can't. Like, you can't threaten politicians, for instance. First of all, we shouldn't be going around threatening politicians. We should be like explaining them. Well, want the best, hope for the worst. Want the best, prepare for the worst. That's what we should always think when it comes to politicians.
That's what I liked. What Tony said last night.
Yeah,
you know, if they do well, you know, support that bit. Them doing well, even if you don't like them.
Yeah, I must admit, just over the past few days, though, like I am starting to wonder how reverse. You know, like Tony that was on last night, he was pretty upbeat about the fact that the cabal is losing the war. And I'd like to drag this in theme with the podcast. This is 100% what I think it is. I don't think the migrant invasion into the UK as much as the migrant invasion into Europe. I don't believe these things are accidents. I think what we're seeing is the problem being caused. Then there will be a reaction to that problem, and the government will offer the solution, which will be more control over people.
They keep saying, and I agree with this because it's fucking scary as fuck when they say fighting age men in the country, but. When I saw Patrick from GB News go over to, I think he was in Calais, and he was going through the migrant camps.
Yeah,
he was asking them why they're coming, and they're basically saying because, in so many words, they're saying because you're soft and you will give us everything. So somebody's saying to these people, listen, if you go to the UK, you'll get
then
everything.
Why aren't they asking? Then why aren't they asking how are you doing it? This is what like I am. I haven't got a huge amount of time for GB News. I don't think GB News is at its core. The only difference between GB News and the BBC is the fact that you agree with the people that are on more.
Yeah.
At its core, I don't think there's a huge amount of difference between any of these things.
There's a narrative with GB News, just like there is with the BBC.
Yeah. I mean, the BBC is probably a bad example because it's they would say publicly funded. I would say publicly stolen money. Maybe Sky is a better example. When it comes to like with GB News, but
I've got a clip from Sky in a minute, which you're gonna find fucking hilarious.
I don't know how you can have somebody that goes to speak to migrants, decides like, why are you coming to England, and not ask the question of how are you doing this? How much do the boats cost? Who do you go and see? Like this guy's supposed to be a journalist. Do you know what I mean? So like, how you've come from where, right? So when you came from there, was the mission to come all the way through? How did you get that far? How did you have you got children with you? How did you walk through several fucking countries to get to where you're going?
Yeah.
Did you have to go into the back of vans? Were we paying those people? What is the mechanism which traffics these large volumes of people through? And I like the narrative would be that these people are just giving it toes and walking through countries. I don't believe that, if I'm perfectly honest. And in the same way as when you see pictures of people and you see these pictures of large migrant caravans walking through places, and it's like, hang on a second, you've got a fucking child's frozen backpack. Is that your stuff? So have we got food in there? Have we got water in there? Have you got is it fucking magical? Can we put shelter in there as well? because there doesn't seem to be a lot in that bag for you to be making such a fucking huge journey with. And then when the migrants are in the camps and they are waiting to get the small boats over to the UK, sorry, what I should say is the people that do it illegally. I'm sure there are a lot of people that are in those migrant camps that are going through the system as well to enter the country legally. But the people that are entering the country illegally, I want that journalist to find out how that's happening.
Yeah.
Who's being paid? How much are they being paid? Where is the money coming from to do it?
Well, do you know what type of journalist does that? The type of journalist
real one.
The type of journalist that's willing to get arrested, that's willing to go to prison, because that's what you need to do if you're that journalist.
Maybe.
So I'll play a little clip here, actually, because this is really fitting when you talk about journalists doing their jobs properly. And this is it's a 2-minute clip. It's Tommy Robinson before he went to prison with a Sky reporter. And I fucking love this.
I am a journalist, yeah? Unfortunately for you, I'm a far better journalist than people like yourself, and I have more trust in people like yourself. It's the reason...
Most journalists don't have criminal convictions, though.
I've never been tried by a jury.
Well, you're about to be.
No,
you're
I'm
about
not.
to be.
No, I'm
well,
not.
you're about to go to. You're about to have a trial.
If you knew your facts, there's no jury waiting.
But it is a trial.
By an appointed judge.
Yes.
By an appointed judge.
Yes, and that's due to the severity of the alleged offence, and that's what courts do. They start off at the magistrates' court and it goes up to the Crown Court.
It's due to the severity of the alleged offence. What was my alleged offence? You've got one in my face.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No, I'm bored now.
What's my alleged offence?
I'm bored now.
You're bored. What a great journalist. What a great journalist. What a great journalist.
Okay.
This is the problem, yeah? What is my alleged offence? You don't know, do you?
Your alleged offence.
Are you getting up on your phone?
He's charged with refusing to leave an anti-Semitism protest in London. He's charged with failing to comply a Section 35 direction excluding a person from an area. So do you plead guilty or not guilty to that?
Are you the judge?
I'm asking you. I'm just asking you.
Are you the judge?
I'm asking you. No, this is what we do, right? Journalists will come to court, and if you've got something to say, we are keen to hear what you want to say, and then you go into court, and that's it. I'm asking you to make a statement. That's all. That's normal. I thought, as a journalist, you'd know that.
Look at this is Sky News. You know Jason Farrell? Yeah. So let me tell you, Sky News. You know what I did? I went for an interview with your TV show, and I left a hidden camera on the side. And Jason Farrell interviewed me for an hour. And when you put your clip out, it was 2 minutes long. And what you've done, look at this. And what you've done is you took what I said, you put a voiceover, and you totally changed the context because it was the most complained about show that year. Look, this is the attitude of so-called... She thinks she takes some more high ground as a journalist, yeah? She don't even know
normally
why
journalists ask questions and you answer.
And I'm a journalist, that's why I'm asking you questions,
You're not
darling.
A journalist,
Are you going to wait out here to apologise when it gets proven this was all unlawful?
Oh, I'll be looking forward to watching.
When was that?
That was before he went into prison.
Was that? But that wasn't last time, though, was it?
Oh, it might not be. I know it's before one of the times he went into prison, but I just wanted to use an example there of journalists that she didn't have a fax, she didn't have a clue. She was put in there with one mission, and that was to get a story off him, and she didn't know any of the facts to back it up. He asked her, and then she had to even look it up on Google in front of him.
Yeah. It's wild.
These people are...
Well, the problem is,
they're
right...
reporting the news on a daily fucking basis about our fucking country, and it's fucking bullshit.
The problem is when you get something like that, it's clear to me that whoever that lady was sent down there was sent down with a mission.
Yes.
That mission wasn't to find out what was going on, wasn't to interview anybody. It was like, we need to frame this like this, Deborah. Go and do it.
Yeah.
So she'd already made it. She didn't need to know the crime. She didn't need to know the what he was being tried for, or in fact what type of court case it even was. She needed to go down to get a soundbite, to get something, It's pretty scary, to be perfectly honest. Like I mean, I don't know how long, like British media and in fact global media, mainstream media, we'll just blanket it as mainstream media, has been as corrupt as it is right now. Maybe it's always been as corrupt as it is right now, but like I remember as a kid before 24-hour news, which I think.
You'd think that people in the news were good people when you were a kid, didn't you? You look to the news and go, it's bad. It's normally bad, but you think these news people really care.
I know. I don't know if I ever went that far and thought the news people care. I didn't think they were lying to me. That's kind of the best I can give you.
Right.
Whereas now I just think they're lying to me. I think if it's in the news and it's being reported to me, then there's probably something sketchy about it.
Well, they're either lying to you or doing some of the bad shit themselves. You know, I don't know which one's worse, but like that example there, and I know that's an older clip of Tommy Robinson, but that is how they frame people, how they get a story, and they narrate a story, not get a story. That's how they narrate a story. And she clearly didn't know any of her facts about him, and he fucked her up.
Well, while we're on the Tommy Robbo train, this was a clip of him today talking about what's going on with him right now as far as the next case that's been brought up against him.
Well, made into the gym. I'm unfit. I thought I'd be fit. I'm unfit. It's good to be back. I am working on a documentary. I'm going to try and get it out by Wednesday. It's a rush, eh? How do we make this documentary in 3 days? We started yesterday early, and I got in last night about 10, 11 o'clock, but I also had to go to London during the day to see my lawyers and barristers about fighting this latest trial and case. But this is what lawfare is about. It just ties you up. £3,000 yesterday, £3,000. Sat down barristers looking at what bail conditions they may wish to impose on me, whether they'll try and limit my speech, my movement, all these different things, how we can fight it, how we fight it in the trial, is there an application to dismiss it, all these things. But your time and effort, energy, everything is spent. Now Thursday I'll be in London going to court. I'm in, what am I in, Westminster Magic, is that right? 10 a.m. So we'll be in court for the day. It's just costs. Then I'll go not guilty, then I get put to another court, we go to Crown Court again, costs. Then we have a trial, days and days of a trial, preparing for it. They'll be hoping they get a jury that don't like me. I'm guessing why that's put it in London. Why else would they put it in London? The people who have made the complaints about me. This case is insane. It's insane. It's like, basically what happens is the government put a target on you. After the riots, they wanted to scapegoat me for the riots. There was no evidence, but that's what they wanted to do. So Keir Starmer starts talking shit everywhere, blaming me. Then the weapon of the totalitarian state, which is the media, the mainstream media, they then track me down to my family holiday and post pictures of my family, even though there's death threats, Osman warnings, all these things. They give the location of where I am, which then results in people threatening to kill, murder, come to the hotel. I have to flee the holiday, leave the kids. Then I turn the tables on them. So you know what? I'm going to ask you some questions now. I'm going to do what you've just done to me. But I don't go where they went. I say I'm not going to post pictures of your family. I'm not going to give you addresses because I think that's morally bankrupt. But you're scumbags. And this isn't the first time the Daily Mail have done this. I've got a history of what they've done. Yeah. So I turn the tables on them, and then what? Instead, the other weapon of the totalitarian state, the police. They then, I'm arrested, I'm prosecuted the day, but look at the timing of it. I get my result in court the next day. The police come in and hand me charges. Then I go to court. That's what this is. So basically what they're saying, 2025 Great Britain, you cannot ask journalists questions. Or you face 10 years in prison. It's like, surely they learn. They just, and it is draining, but it's also an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to show you how they operate. How they manipulate the truth, they lie. They put targets. There was no need. So they could have come to that hotel where I was. They could have run the story, put a picture of me, lied however they wanted to fucking lie, but not show my family, not give their location. No public interest in doing that, but they did it, didn't they? So, anyway, thank you if you supported me. Website, fightthemail.com. We go again.
So the thing I found interesting, I think I brought this up last time we talked about the reporter that's doing him for harassment. It shows that the idea of the partisan media in the UK,
yeah,
it proves it's bullshit, because
100%.
the Daily Mail is the right wing paper.
Yeah.
So when you've got when you've got the left wing papers going after somebody, and you've got the right wing papers going after somebody, but the guy's supposed to be like a right wing extremist. What's the who's on whose team here? Because you can't. First of all, I'm sure he fits the bill of being right wing. Right, we'll take that. We have political sides, so you can't. If you're going to play a particular political side, then you have to be. You have to fall with it.
Yeah, you listen to some of his interviews, though. A lot of his thinking is very left wing. You know,
I'm not sure about that.
Well, some of his morals are, I would say, fall very, very left. But I don't know.
I'd say he's the very I'd say conservative, to be perfectly honest. You know, but I mean that's kind of by the by, to be honest. But the fact that if we truly had, and I don't really think we should have like right wing papers and left wing papers, because it just means people live in echo chambers. No, you shouldn't. You should just have good journalism and editorials, and then you expect some sort of like spin in an editorial. That's what it's for. I get it, but
hey, Lee, listen, Keir Starmer tomorrow starts fucking changing our country for the better. You know, we
fucking roll on Labour
in the car.
Yeah,
you know, I'll be cheering them on.
Yeah,
I want the best.
Of course, like that was the thing with the when he came in, it was my mind. Like he has excelled. My low opinion of what he'd be like, but I was wanting to be proved right. I don't want things to be worse.
Why would you?
Why would somebody want things to be worse? But
you should never want a prime minister to fail.
No. Anybody, to be perfectly honest, like, it doesn't matter whether it's your milkman, your prime minister, your councillor. You know, if your wife, if your milkman fails, you don't get cereal in the morning. You know, like, so at some point, if enough people fail around you, it will affect you.
If your milkman fails, your wife may not get pregnant again. You know.
The problem is, Ollie, and especially when I look across the pond towards what's going on with Trump and the Epstein files, and I'm just not convinced anymore that there are teams. Like, I'm not convinced there's any good guys now.
I think you're right there. I think that's the key, because when you're asking about, well, hang about, the left didn't support him, the right didn't support him.
Yeah.
Where somebody's saying from high up, listen, all the reports of this guy, negative.
Yeah.
All of them, no support. They have created a. That's the right. They've created a martyr, haven't they? Is that the right thing? I mean, no, he's not died, but.
No, yeah. I don't think he's necessarily a martyr. I think some would have to have happen to him for that. But what he is he's a really good indication to what happens to somebody if they stick their head up above the barricades.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't.
Well, look at
I
Nick's
don't
going back
believe.
to his phone.
Yeah, but I don't believe the powers that be expected Tommy Robinson to still be alive. I think they expected him to, no, I don't actually think they expected him to be alive. I think they expected him to do something to himself. I think they expected somebody else to do something to him or one of his family that would make him shut up and like fucking like stick his head down.
We spoke about that with the tins of tuna. That was interesting. That's what they kept giving and leaving the tins in there.
But the other thing I think is that they could have expected that the solitary confinement to break him more than it has done. Like he's clearly aged. Like that guy's aged like 5 years and 6 months, whoever it was.
Yeah, well, I think he's lost quite a lot of weight as well.
Yeah, he looks gaunt. He looks tired.
Yeah,
definitely looks tired. I don't know. Like I just think we have we haven't even touched, Ollie. We haven't even touched on the fact that Ukraine, definitely not NATO, launched an attack on Russian fighter planes in Moscow, which I believe they're a nuclear arsenal as well. It was like they were the nuclear capable ones. I think there's fuckery with that. I have seen so many videos floating around which are like Arma 3, the video game Arma 3, that are being made to recreate those bombings. I saw some video. Hang on, I saw some video today, which was like a drone going over the going over the planes that have been destroyed. For the life of me, that looked, and this was supposed to be official footage as well. For the life of me, it looked AI generated.
I've not seen that. I've not seen.
I should have bookmarked it. I didn't.
Have you got the clip of Keir Starmer talking about us being war ready?
Yes, I do.
Let's bring Keir Starmer on.
Keir Starmer. We probably won't play all of this because I can't bear to listen to.
And today, following through on this...
That'll do.
Sky News again. There you go.
Look at just quickly before we start playing here. Look at all these people. Like he's like surrounding himself with the people he's going to fuck the most. Surrounding himself with working class people, like the people he's let down more than anybody else. He knows. He knows.
He knows, doesn't he?
Someone's give him an absolute clout as well. He knows. Yep. It's weird how there's two black-eyed people there.
And the guy with the red hat also knows. He does not want to be there.
He's already lost his job. Like he's the. He's already been sacked today. He's been replaced by fucking 15 immigrants. But yeah, like that, this man standing here in front of these people is essentially saying, "Yeah, we're gonna send some of you guys to war just this age." So let's listen to what he's got to say. She's pretty cute though.
This review, I want to set out 3 fundamental changes that we're going to deliver. First, we are moving to warfighting readiness as the central purpose of our armed forces. When we are being directly threatened by states with advanced military forces, the most effective way to deter them is to be ready. And frankly, to show them that we're ready, to deliver peace through strength. Now, Britain has the finest servicemen and women in the world.
I'm sorry, but just how 1984 is that line? We must deliver peace through strength.
Yep.
That is straight out of Orwell. Carry on, Gear.
Showing them the respect that they deserve by delivering the biggest armed forces pay rise in 20 years, and by pledging today that we will end the hollowing out of our armed forces. We'll build a fighting force that is more integrated, more ready, more lethal than ever, backed by a stronger strategic reserve, fully trained and ready to mobilize at any time. Second, everything we do will add to the strength of NATO. As we step up to take greater responsibility for our collective defense, the NATO alliance means something profound, that we will never fight alone. It is a fundamental source of our strategic strength. That's why our defense policy will always be NATO first, something that's written through this review. The transformation we are driving in our defense must add up to Britain's biggest contribution to NATO since its creation, so that when we're building new capabilities at home, we are making our allies safer too, strengthening Europe and strengthening our bridge to the US as Britain's first partner in defense. Third, we will innovate and accelerate innovation at a wartime pace.
I'm going to stop him there because it's just...
I can't get over. I listen to this. I can't get over the crowd behind him, because obviously each one of those has probably been paid to stand there. I would say at this point, because nobody fucking likes him. There's not one of those that because the risk there to just stand behind him. The risk, just hear me out here.
I agree with you.
The risk of someone just standing behind him is that one of them goes like that, because, if you were stood behind him, that's what you'd do. You go, oh, this is bullshit. So you would spoil that speech because you would be like, this is fucking horse shit. So they've been paid, those people, but each one of them right there, I think, had guilt. I think they felt sickened. Because they might have been, don't get me wrong, they might have needed the money. Might have been given £500 each.
I don't think they were paid. I just think they were selected.
But they didn't look happily. Not one of them. I mean, not that it's a happy speech, but it's not as if they were standing behind some. It didn't look like people standing behind somebody who they believed in.
No. The whole thing. Look, the whole thing was very contrived. I don't know whether the speech was done. I mean, I'm taking it. It's clearly some sort of industrial worker place.
It probably done in Area 51.
But yeah, it's the only real explanation. But this whole we have to fight for NATO. Britain's contribution towards NATO. It's being in NATO means we don't fight alone. If you can't see the fact that this is being done just after the attack on Russia. Now, the problem I have is I don't I'm sick of seeing things, right? I'm sick of seeing polls online going, who would you prefer being in charge of UK then? Would you prefer Keir Starmer or Vladimir Putin? How about no knobheads?
What polls?
How about that? Fucking loads. You can't move on X for someone saying yeah,
polls, not Polish.
Yeah,
right.
No. And I just think it's such a fucking wild place we've got ourselves in, because people have lost so much faith in the UK and so much faith in the global response to Ukraine, for instance. Yeah. That they started. It's the same thing, but the opposite way around. I used to always accuse people of pretending that the Ukraine was like fucking Teletubby land, when we know, and we have known for ages, that it was one of the most corrupt countries in the fucking world, with a fucking massive problem with neo-Nazis. This is a thing. This is something that wasn't salacious to say a few years ago, to the point there was an article in the fucking Guardian about the Ukraine's right-wing extremist problem.
Well, I wanted to say this the other day. Where was the South African farmers invite for asylum to the UK? that Trump gave. So he gives everybody else asylum in the UK. Where were the farmers of South Africa?
Well, the argument would be is that there hasn't really been a call for asylum for anybody. Like there's not like a call for asylum. We're just being invaded. But like what I was going to say,
though, don't you?
I kind of, yeah. I'm not. Again, I know what you're saying. I just don't know. I don't know how much that matters. That's what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean? Like I know what's going on in Africa is fucking awful for the white farmers, but it's just like adding another problem into the mix. You go, hang on a second, fucking, we need to get rid of some of these ingredients. Like the idea of like, because this is what I was going to say before, is that I accuse people of saying that Ukraine was fucking Teletubby land. Now they're doing the same with Russia. You know, because people disagree with like left-wing politics and they disagree with the amount of aid that's gone into Ukraine, like they pretend that Vladimir Putin hasn't been a nigh-on dictator in Russia and had political opponents fucking murdered and imprisoned to keep it that way. You know, like there's no good guys is the point I'm still trying to make, and I think they're all fucking in it together. Like the Ukraine is a fucking an ongoing fucking money laundering operation, and I'm convinced there'll be Russian money going in and out of that. People have made so much money from that, so much, and the problem is, you've got people that are going over, like genuine people as well, that go over and lose their lives because they're going over to volunteer. But yeah, because we're reading about the amount of aid and how Ukraine needs this much aid, when you hear about like the Ukraine getting fucking billions of dollars, it's not going to the Ukraine. It's going to Boeing. It's going to Lockheed Martin. It's going to buy weapons.
Of course it is.
So I'm just bemused now.
Why.
I'm bemused. Well, maybe we do need to fight the space aliens. But I'm struggling to I'm not going full fucking black pilled here. I still think there's a way out of this sort of stuff. But then when you see the likes of we saw Trump coming into office in the US, and we thought, right, okay, there is we'll see how this goes. We were very supportive. Kash Patel was the day one when we get in. Epstein shit is out day one. Day one. The amount of time is very excited. Got some sort of fucking phony, like influencer fucking led photo op with binders of stuff that's already been fucking on the internet for years. Meanwhile, something I don't think people talk about enough is the fact that Trump is fast tracking a digital ID system into the US. Like, I think there's a good chance that he's been in that Trump is part of the cabal. And not only is he part of the cabal, he's been installed because the previous installation, i.e. the Biden administration, wasn't doing things quick enough.
Do you know how I want to get on? Strange
Penises. Yes. Yeah. I oddly enough, I've sent an email out to him. I'm gonna. Sometimes he seems to reply better on TikTok, so I will send a TikTok out to him as well. Yeah, it's. I'm worried at the minute, like with the escalation. You know, it's the like people keep saying, oh well, you know, like Trump's wanting to do peace, they wanting peace deals. It's NATO's NATO's trying to cause World War III, and there's just this bit of me that goes, oh, they're just all trying to do it. Is this part of the plan? Do you know what I mean?
Mm. On the coat train, if it is all part of the plan, do you reckon as soon as them reporters went away, fucking Nigel Farage just got out of the cupboard and went, "Are they gone? Right. Macron, get that coat back out."
Yeah. It's I like look. I hope this is like a Game of Thrones, to be honest. Like, because like we talk on this show quite a lot about the cabal, the elite, the whatever, the Illuminati, whatever we're going to call them this week. And how there might be different sects and stuff like that. I fucking hope there is. Because if there is, if there's because you don't, they don't need to be all goodies. You just need one to be less bad than the other.
Maybe that's a fucking really good way of putting it. Game of Thrones, that there is no, they're all fucked up. They're all, each one of them has a bad side. There's little bits of good there, but at the end of the day, it's going to take the fucking White Walkers to fucking sort it out.
Well, see,
and that's 2027.
Maybe, but like what I'm saying about it being Game of Thrones is, I hope it's that way, because if it's not, it's organized.
Yeah,
and that's got to be the worst thing. To see, like, if we have a fucking, like, a true, like, cabal,
that's fucking
a secret
scary.
religion. Yeah,
and I'd say
I edge towards that. I edge towards them all being part of the club these days.
Yeah, 80% of me says it's that now. I think is that 20% that goes, so there might be a good guy.
It's like
I wonder if that is why they are so hell bent on like people like Tommy Robinson. I've maybe Rich down the line, because he's getting more and more confidence and he's growing.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe people like that fucking terrify them.
Oh well, I think people in general will always terrify the cabal. They'll always terrify the establishment, because, like, it sounds cliched, but we are many and they are few.
Yeah.
I just wonder when the technology is going to come into this. Because we talk about breakaway civilizations so much. We talk about the black projects and like what's what and who's who. I was going to say we flirt with Bluebeam. We don't flirt with Bluebeam. We full on stick it in and spit in its mouth.
We stick Bluebeam in us.
Yeah. I just wonder when we're going to get to that stage of the proceedings, because that shit's like, we're still using, like, look at the like Ukraine stuff for instance. We're still using what we think of as like weaponry for this. So that means all this fucking cool shit that we hear about, like, that's all sat somewhere. Do you know what I mean? How many Tic Tacs are there, for instance? If it is human made, if the Tic Tac is human made, how many Tic Tacs are there? Is there like a fucking underground airfield somewhere? Whole fleet of the motherfuckers just waiting to do something. And if that's the case, and you say the like Trump administration like truly want peace between Ukraine and Russia, then wouldn't a vulgar display of power with incredible technology that looks like time travelers have brought it to us, wouldn't that be the way to do it? If you wanted to be the party of peace, you would be. America being happy being the world police for years.
Yeah.
So where is it?
Do you think it's all going to come out? Do you think in your lifetime you're ever gonna say, "Fucking hell"?
I don't think it'll ever all come out, because I don't think one of the things that worries me now more than anything is it's my truth. Like, I think that's that line, when that started getting injected into culture. Like you do you, like, you live your own truth. It's my truth. That's so fucking poignant now. And again, I think that was something that was injected into culture to grow, because now we're at a point where, like, Tommy Robinson's a perfect fucking example of it, actually. Whereas, so I can watch stuff. I've always had a pretty, like, hit and miss opinion of Tommy Robinson. I like him more now than I ever have done, and I'm still like not down with him. But that's what I think. But yeah, I know if I speak to, like, Tommy Robinson's detractors, there is nothing you can say or show them to go, hang on a second, like, okay, we might not agree with everything this guy says, but he's being fully fucking attacked by the government here.
Yeah.
And that will land on deaf ears because it's not part of their truth. We just cherry pick things nowadays, and we form an opinion with it, and then everything gets tribal and no one ever fucking moves out of it.
Well, this is the terrifying thing, because we speak about breakaway civilizations, and I think there's always been that elitist power. I don't know what that is, but I think in the past what they've done is they've destroyed statues, they've covered up our history. I think the future of that, what that looks like, is because now everything is recorded. Maybe things were recorded back then. Maybe they did actually manage to fucking wipe out and do a massive reset. But maybe the great resets will happen over, like, almost like little tiny Mandela effects that aren't even a Mandela effect. They are just AI is going to go through the internet, slowly change things to the point where you'll be going, you know, somebody's granddad's going to talk about Tommy, this bloke called Tommy Robinson that got locked up, and he tried to really change Great Britain, you know, and then the kid will look it up and go, actually, granddad, that's bullshit. He was a hard right,
no. I think
racist.
That's...
Look at this that he did, and it'll be on the internet, you know, and it's not even real because AI changed it.
I mean, this is like the read is probably
nothing
a loaded term to use. But have you listened to 1984?
No, mate. I'll be honest with you. I know a little bit about it. It's something I need to get the audiobook for that.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, and it is genuinely really good as well. Did they
do a film of it?
The film is also excellent. Robert Hurt is the lead in the film. The BBC did one in like the 80s, I think it was 70s or 80s. It was really good.
Well, the BBC did a good
Jonathan
film.
Hurt, sorry.
A good depiction.
Well, no, right. Let's not pretend here, right? That up until the mid 2000s, the BBC put bangers out.
Oh yeah.
Like this is the thing. Even like Channel 4 as well. Like, I know this is going on deaf ears with our American audience. Things haven't always been this way.
No, they've not.
This is a really recent thing, and I don't even necessarily believe this whole thing of like, oh, it was a long creeping plan that's led us into this. I don't remember this like extremist views, or extremist is probably the fucking wrong word. It's because it's not there. I don't think there's extreme views being. Oh no, okay, extreme levels of censorship of certain subjects. That's probably a good way of putting it on British media. I don't think like Channel 4 are they putting Tommy Robinson's documentary out, or have they?
That rings a bell. I don't
I'm
want to
sure
say
there's
yes
something
or no.
about that.
I don't want to say yes or no, but I don't watch any television.
No, I completely unplugged television from my house. So
we don't have it.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't. This isn't like Britain hasn't been like this for a long time. This is new. And to be fair, maybe that goes against what I was saying. Maybe that means the fact that it is new. The fact that it is new, maybe that means it can be turned around quickly.
Let's hope so. Well, I mean, the 19th of July, people. If you want to go support Rich No, not okay. Let's not say that. If you want to support your country,
Mm.
get yourselves over to the White Cliffs of Dover.
Yep.
There's going to be a massive party there.
I wonder what would happen to me if I went to Dover.
What would happen to you?
I'm allergic to chalk.
See, are you? See, we're actually away. We go on a holiday that week. But I urge people to go across. It's going to be, I think it's that week anyway. If it's not that week, maybe we could go. But we've actually booked a family holiday. But yeah, that's.
Don't be taking your kids to.
I definitely wouldn't.
Demonstrations.
Listen. I don't think anybody should do that.
No.
Personally, I think if you've got little ones, I don't think they belong at these.
I don't think they belong at any of these sort of things. I don't believe they believe in any marches, any rallies. The fact is, whether it's a pride march, whether it's a march to stop immigration, whether it's a march for workers' rights or for pensions. When you get protests, it is an act to change something. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of whether you agree with what that action is or not, that is an action that you're doing to change the world around you. That sounds like the job of a parent and an adult.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Also, I think at any protest there is an element of risk.
Of course, no. This is what I'm saying. You're going there to enact some sort of power.
Yeah.
And I just don't believe that the problems and anxieties of adults should be pressed onto children. They never have done. Like if you. There's so many conversations. I think it's worse now because I notice it more. I think there's so many conversations that grown-ups have when their children are there. Where I know when I was a kid that if something was going on, be it like international fucking danger of war or like something particularly grim that happened, like a murder or something like that, and I was to walk in a room and my mum and dad were talking about it, they could get quiet. And then next thing they go on. I don't think people do that enough now. Like people should protect kids a lot more from the fucking. You don't get an awful lot of time before reality slaps you across the face like a fucking big old wet salmon. Like we should allow children to treasure these years where it doesn't matter. Like money doesn't matter to kids. Like if you brought your kid up well, he knows that you can't afford everything. But like his or hers fucking agenda for the day should be like, am I going to get fucking cake after this meal, or are we going to go swimming today? Because that seems that's like top level child anxiety. What fun am I going to have today?
Yeah. Am I going to have enough time to watch some cartoons before I go to bed?
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just it's my little peeve that I'm noticing more and more and more and more of people not understanding. I not understanding like age appropriate things to talk around kids with, and a part of me thinks that's a completely different conversation, which has been the systematic childification of adults. I think it's call me a conspiracy theorist. I think that was part of the plan as well. The amount of grown-ups that fucking like build Lego and buy toys, and look, everyone can watch TV, everyone can play a video game, but the amount of adults that are out there spending their fucking like hours a day playing video games, like these are things that up until this generation,
I love Lego.
fucking child. Colouring books, adult colouring books, fuck off. If you didn't learn how to draw properly, you don't get to fucking draw. Don't do colouring books if you're a grown-up. It's retarded. I think it started with Marvel movies as well. I think all this that we turn superheroes into this type of thing that people get so excited about superhero movies and new Star Wars movies and stuff like that, but nobody seems to care anymore about like genuine art, like genuine talent, and everybody wants to kind of carry on being this like, okay, yeah, I'm 40, but I'm still acting like I'm 28. Wow, I'm wild. So, yeah, I don't know. It fucking irritates me anyway. But thank you if you've got to this point in the podcast. We love you. You're great.
Says the man who plays computer games on a little handheld.
It's quite a big handheld, actually. And see, right, the only reason I bought a fucking handheld is because...
you made me buy one.
I might get a fucking half an hour a day to play a video game because I've got to do all this other shit. And that's the only way I can do it. But, like, if I was one of the fucking man babies that are out there, I could just go, do you know what I'll do? I just won't take my kids to clubs and do stuff like that. I'll sack off the adult stuff so I can still pretend I'm fucking a teenager. Not fucking a teenager. I'm a fucking teenager. That's what I meant to say. So let's get to the bit where I sell you stuff. You might have noticed there are some videos up on YouTube. We have slightly changed our stuff. It's not going to be a huge deal, but if you sign up for Patreon, you get the ad-free podcast as always, and you get the videos a week early. So today's video will go up on YouTube in 7 days' time. It just helps us get more stuff out to people. Like it's so difficult trying to get noticed on things and trying to get the things out there.
We've made a massive dent in the podcast community, so why not get out there in the video? You know, because
we're handsome.
Oh, aye, absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't get in your hot tub.
No, you couldn't. You'd be hard as fuck in there. So please go over to Patreon. $5.99 a month gets you all of the shows we do on audio ad free. It gets you the video a week early, and it also gets you a special Patreon only live hangout that we do at the end of every month. This month it will probably be on the Friday, not the Saturday. 10 o'clock UK time, which is various times in other time zones. You can buy our merch. There'll be a link to our merch. Go and support Nick's podcast, Alien Addict. He's like our sister podcast. It's all under the same sort of umbrella. We are very incestual. I've today confirmed another 2 guests that are coming up. One is coming up this week for fans of the Infinite Fringe podcast. Billy Ray Valentine will be back with us on Thursday. I can't wait for that. He is. He's a
good bloke.
He's one of my favorites. One of my favorite podcasters. Like the podcast I used to like. He doesn't put as many shows out as he used to put out. But like his Ground Zero, a couple of other conspiracy theory podcasts that have escaped me. The conspiracy guys. What was it?
Those conspiracy guys?
Those conspiracy guys, yeah. That was the sort of thing that got me into listening to podcasts. Like I was listening to those before I found Joe Rogan. Shaped what I would end up doing and things like this. So yeah, he's coming on. There's some other stuff. We've got some cool guests coming up. Like we're gonna kick next Monday off with an absolute banger of an episode. If you've watched either Leveled or is it Level with Me, and also the Old World Order, which was a Stu Peters documentary about Tartaria, the producer Sean Hibbler He's going to come on and talk to us. I cannot fucking wait to speak to that guy. So he's going to be recording with us over the weekend, and that will be your first episode on Monday morning. So get a vein up for that one. Like, get a vein up.
Get 2 veins up.
Get a vein up like Ollie gets a vein up in the hot tub. I don't think there's anything else I need to say as well. He follows on social medias at The Daily Compod on most of the social medias. If you want emails at thedailyconspiracypodcast@gmail.com. Don't put the at the beginning. I meant to not do that. We'll see you tomorrow.
But
take us out, Ollie.
I already did with the hot tub, mate, you know.
Okay.
Don't be greedy.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. And they are not what they claimed to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.